The culmination of cinematic brilliance has arrived. Welcome to the championship of the Director's Cup. After a grueling series of head-to-head battles, only two titans of filmmaking remain. They've negated treacherous semifinals, strategically deploying their most potent cinematic weapons. Now, they stand on the precipice of victory. One final clash, one last film, and 4 rounds of intense scrutiny await. We'll dissect their masterpieces, best scene, best line, the power of their music, and the overall cinematic impact. The stakes have never been higher. This is where legends are cemented and cinematic history is written. Who will claim the inaugural Director's Cup and etch their name in the annals of filmmaking greatness? The tension is palpable, the anticipation is electric, and the final battle is about to unfold. Welcome, esteemed cinephiles, to the grand finale of the Director's Cup. Tonight, we witness a clash of titans, a battle for cinematic supremacy. In one corner, we have Christopher Nolan's dark and operatic crime saga, The Dark Knight, a film that redefined the superhero genre and delivered a chilling portrayal of anarchy. And in the other corner, Steven Spielberg's iconic summer blockbuster, Jaws, a film that terrified audiences and forever changed the landscape of thriller cinema. This is the ultimate showdown. After a tournament of legendary directors and their masterpieces, these two films stand as the best of the best. Tonight, we'll dissect them across 4 rounds, leaving no frame unturned. In round 1, it'll be scene, line, and music with a personal touch. We'll explore the most unforgettable moments, dialogue, and scores, sharing our personal connections and nostalgic reflections. Round 2, that's awards and critical acclaim. We'll examine the critical reception and industry accolades, weighing the opinions of experts and the weight of gold statues. Round 3, trivia and recasting. Prepare for a dive into fascinating behind-the-scenes facts and a reimagining of these classics with a modern cast. Round 4, that would be the final verdict. We'll ask our esteemed judge, Gemini, to weigh the evidence and crown the ultimate champion of the Director's Cup. Get ready for a cinematic battle for the ages as we determine which film reigns supreme. Is it Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight or Steven Spielberg's Jaws? Let the final debate begin. Alright, let's get these two cinematic giants in the ring for a head-to-head comparison. Here's the tale of the tape for The Dark Knight versus Jaws. Here we go. The release date for The Dark Knight was July 18th, 2008. The release date for Jaws, June 20th, 1975. Runtime, The Dark Knight's runtime, 2 hours and 32 minutes, where Jaws' runtime, 2 hours and 4 minutes. Film budget. The Dark Knight's film budget was $185 million. The Jaws' film budget, $9 million. Opening weekend box office gross. Dark Knight's opening weekend box office gross, $158.4 million opening weekend. Jaws' opening weekend box office gross, $7 million. Worldwide box office gross. Dark Knight, $1.005 billion with a B in worldwide box office gross. Jaws, worldwide box office gross, $472.3 million. I mean, starting off with $9 million to $472.3, not bad. Not bad at all.
Not too
Uh,
shabby.
not too shabby. And then estimated DVD, Blu-ray, and VHS sales, we're looking at 250 million plus for The Dark Knight, and then we're looking at 100 million plus for Jaws. Then the studios for these fine films. Dark Knight was produced by Warner Brothers Pictures, and Jaws was produced by Universal. I think Spielberg's mostly with Universal, if I'm correct, right?
I believe you're right.
And then Warner Brothers, like WB, they own all that DC stuff, right?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Well, that is the tail of the tape for our championship match of the Dark Knight versus Jaws. Now we're gonna head to round one. Round one. Fight. Okay. In round one, this is what we got. We each have 3 minutes to dissect the best line, the best scene, and the musical score from each film. I will be going first, and the clock will start right now. Here we go. The Dark Knight is a film overflowing with iconic moments, but the interrogation scene between Batman and the Joker stands as a masterclass in tension and psychological warfare. The claustrophobic setting, the raw intensity of the performances, and the sheer unpredictability of the Joker's actions create a scene that's both thrilling and deeply unsettling. Nolan's masterfully builds suspense, allowing the audience to witness the Joker's chaotic brilliance and Batman's desperate struggle to maintain control. This scene isn't just a fight, it's a battle of ideologies, a clash between order and anarchy, a pivotal moment that shapes the course of the film. Beyond the visual spectacle, The Dark Knight is filled with lines that have become ingrained in popular culture. That is so true. I mean, you look at Dark Knight and it's just chock full of epic moments and like just incredibly quotable lines. The Joker's chilling declaration, "Why so serious?" delivered with the menacing grin. I mean, that encapsulates the character's unsettling philosophy and his desire to disrupt the status quo. It's a one liner that lingers in the mind, a constant reminder of the Joker's chaotic influence and his ability to expose the darkness lurking beneath society's veneer. Heath Ledger's delivery of this line is legendary, making it both terrifying and iconic. One of the other ones I loved, and I remember from the DVD how they used to have like the interactive menus on the DVD, right? And one of
Sure.
my favorite lines is him saying, "And here we go." Right? Unbelievable. You know, just small things like that. But not only is, the scenes are incredible, right? But of course, no discussion of The Dark Knight would be complete without acknowledging Hans Zimmer and James Newton Howard's powerful score, right? The music perfectly complements the film's dark and operatic tone, creating a sense of unease and tension that permeates every scene. The driving rhythms and soaring melodies underscore the film's action sequences, while the more melancholic themes capture the emotional weight of Batman's struggle. The score is not just background music, it's an integral part of the film's narrative, enhancing the emotional impact of every scene and elevating The Dark Knight to a truly immersive and unforgettable cinematic experience. The score and the film are without a doubt a perfect match. Either way, absolutely fantastic. Super excited that I got this movie. And that is my time. Nuts on your chin, Vern. Go ahead, Vern. Take it away.
Nice work, Maddie. And before I start my time, I just want to let everyone know, and we've said this before, this is Maddie's second time rolling a Nolan movie. This is my second time rolling a Spielberg. We all had the opportunity. So we're here just trying to get the best movie forward, okay? We don't have any personal agendas. We respect the
No
hell out of both
agendas.
of these guys. And that's why
Respect
this
the hell.
debate is pretty good. And I'll kick off my time right now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have Jaws here. We have one of the most seminal movies in the development of American cinema all to itself. Maddie mentioned the score. Hans Zimmer versus John Williams. This is an absolute knockdown, drag out title fight. You should not be surprised that here in the championship round, we're doing a Hans Zimmer versus John Williams. John Williams' score is so iconic. It's simply known among pianists as E and F. E and F. That's the score. It's two notes simulating the heartbeat of a shark. Those two notes played on a piano will get you looking over your shoulder no matter what's going on. It's one of the most iconic scores written, and its simplicity is truly what makes it brilliant. There are a ton of great lines in this movie. For me, my favorite line, and what Stephen King considers to be the greatest line written in American cinema history, is not even written. It's Roy Scheider's improvised, "You're going to need a bigger boat." That line popped so hard that Spielberg had to go back and re-edit the movie because the audience was gasping too loud at the first appearance of the open mouth shark to hear it. So he cranked the volume on the line and he added another couple seconds in there so people had time to catch their breath to hear Scheider deliver this iconic line. As far as scenes go, there's so many good ones. I mean, just poor Chrissy swimming out in the ocean in the very beginning of the movie with the guy who was trying to bang her asleep while she struggles for her life, while she whips back and forth. The move they pull in that movie every time someone's eaten by a shark, where all of a sudden the water just turns red. The shark is the star of the film, despite only appearing on screen for 4 minutes. But the best scene in the movie takes place between two powerhouse actors, Robert Shaw and Richard Dreyfuss, when they're sitting at a table, sharing their war stories, showing their wounds, and old Bobby Shaw, a little bit in his cups, gets into the story of the USS Indianapolis. That's the moment where, hey, we're out hunting for a shark, goes from this is kind of fun and adventurous to we are on the precipice of absolute tragedy. And this old guy who walked into the courthouse and said, "I'll kill it for 10,000," meant what he said. This was not a $3,000 job. The danger and the actual horror, you can watch it sink into the faces of the characters Brody and Hooper as old Quint, through crossed eyes, regales his story of how many men went in the water and how many men came out. That's my time.
Great stuff, Bern. Well, that does it for round one. And we're going to head now to round two. Round two, fight! So this is round two. It's awards and critical acclaim. And let me tell you, The Dark Knight Rises in this round. So, The Dark Knight won 2 Academy Awards, Best Supporting Actor, Best Sound Editing. It was praised for its complex narrative, stunning visuals, and Heath Ledger's iconic performance. Jaws won 3 Academy Awards, Best Film Editing, Best Original Score, and Best Sound. It was praised for its suspenseful storytelling, and groundbreaking special effects. While Jaws was a groundbreaking film, The Dark Knight's critical acclaim and cultural impact might just give it the edge, but we don't know. So, besides that, we are going to go over, we're going to do a redraft of the best films from that year. I will start. Bern, are you ready?
Give me what you got, Maddie. What year is this? 2008, you said?
So 2008, yep.
All right.
And it was the 81st Academy Awards. So this is what the Academy thought were the best pictures. They only had 5 this year, still a couple years away from the 10. So the 5 best pictures that the Academy thought were The Reader, Milk, Frost Nixon, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, and Slumdog Millionaire. The winner ended up being Slumdog Millionaire. I'll tell you, Slumdog Millionaire is an incredible movie. Incredible.
So
Really great. Really great. But I did a list of my own of the movies I thought were the top 10 best movies from the year 2008. I left Dark Knight off of this list, even though I think it's the best movie of 2008. And I only took one movie from the Best Picture nominees from the Academy. So here is my redrafting of the best films of 2008. First, Kung Fu Panda. Awesome movie. Started a franchise that's still going to this day. Then, Wall-E. Sleeper hit, Wall-E. Sleeper hit. Then, one of my favorite Kevin Smith's movies, Zack and Miri Make a Porno. This movie is so good, and I've quoted it so many times, right? Like, dude, I'll tell you, the one dude that steals it, he was in Justin Long, right?
Yeah, yeah. Bobby's
When
boyfriend.
yeah, Bobby's boy, dude, he's so good. When Seth Rogen's like, he's like, yeah, I usually do production. Justin Long's like, I usually do productions, with all male cast and things like that. And then Seth Rogen's like, do you mean like Glengarry Glenn Ross? And he's like, more like Glenn sticks his meaty cock down Ross's throat.
I'll tell you what, one line from that movie that me and my brothers quote constantly is "Huck it, chuck it, football." That drunk
Oh,
Steelers fan who
dude.
walks in when they're trying to shake.
You know who? God, that guy's another actor that I really like. I forget his name, but he was in like another like he's like a chubby guy that's really funny. God, I forget his name, but he's really good. Fuck it, chug
Huck
it,
it, chuck it,
football.
football.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Also, like, why it gotta be Black Friday?
Her name Bubbles.
Oh God, so good. Then the next movie, Appaloosa. This is a Western. Viggo Mortensen, Ed Harris. I think the villain is not Guy Pearce. It's the other one. Jeremy Irons. Absolutely fantastic movie. Absolutely fantastic. Ed Harris is so good in this. And this probably was the preemptive to him getting the role in what's the show on HBO? Where
Westworld.
Westworld. Yeah. So good. So, next movie for me on my list of redrafting, Tropic Thunder. Incredible. This movie is so quoted and so loved by this movie just broke down everything. I mean, Tom Hanks with fat arms, fat hairy arms dancing was so good. Robert Downey Jr. so good, right? Awesome stuff. Tropic Thunder such a hit. Then In Bruges, which I really think this helped get Colin Farrell back in the limelight of how incredible an actor he is. Colin
100%.
Farrell Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson. This movie is so goddamn good. Colin Farrell fucking murders in this movie. Absolutely fantastic. Then Iron Man. It started it all. The Marvel craze started with Iron Man. I don't care who you are. Iron Man isn't a massive, massive box office success, then we're not here. We're not getting Endgame. You know?
Not even
Iron Man
close.
started it all. Then another great one, Gran Torino.
The
Sleeper Clint
ultimate
Eastwood
get
movie.
off my lawn
Get off my
movie.
lawn. Great stuff. I used to stack shit like you 6 high in Korea. Yeah. So good. Absolutely so good. Then the next one, The Wrestler. All I got to say, Marissa Tomei, Daddy. Marissa Tomei.
I, has anyone been
Huh?
throw? I mean, she's been throwing that fastball for as long as I can remember, and it's not. She's not losing anything on the gun. She's losing
No.
nothing on the gun.
Dude, this was a great time for Marissa Tomei. This is
Sure
great
was.
Tomei.
It's a great time
Great
for us.
Tomei. Great time to be alive. Tell you that. Great time to be alive and have a pecker. That's Marissa Tomei for you, Daddy. And then my last one that I redrafted, Slumdog Millionaire, deserves to be on the list. That was probably the second best movie of 2008. Fantastic stuff. But that's my list, and that's the best movies of 2008. Burn. I'm going to kick it over to you, Big Dick Daddy.
Good stuff, Matty. Great year for comedy and
Great year.
great, very diverse year there. I had to go back a little bit farther. I had to go back to the 48th annual Academy Awards as
Oh,
Jaws
damn.
came out in 1975.
Mm-hmm.
So the winner that year, also five nominations. Jaws was nominated for
Okay.
Best Picture. Nashville,
Okay.
Barry Lyndon,
Okay.
Dog Day Afternoon,
Great movie.
and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which was the eventual Best Picture winner that year.
Cuckoo's
Tough to
Nest is an
argue with.
all-timer, dude.
Tough to argue with.
All-timer. Yeah. Tough beating. Yeah, you're not. I mean, Jaws is great, but you're not beating Cuckoo's Nest. God, think of how much pussy Jack Nicholson was getting in 1975.
All of
Ugh,
it. There was
just
nothing
all of it.
left for anyone else.
Nope. Sorry.
So, not as familiar, obviously, with cinema in 1975. So, there was a couple
Sure.
movies I had to throw on here. I only picked two of the nominees to make my list. So, I'll start at the end. Stepford Wives, It's a fine movie. It's got some interesting themes. It's been remade a million times since then.
Right.
Float Q just did one with Harry Styles. Pleasantville
Uh-huh.
happened. It was a thing. So it's a trope that has lasted. Number nine, The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh,
Never been anything quite like it before. Hasn't been anything quite like it since. Has developed
no.
one of the most cult and devoted followings of any one film franchise that I can think of off the top of my head.
I would say the number one midnight matinee movie of all time as well, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
People reenacting, singing. It's a free for
They
all in
love
there.
it. Yeah.
Number eight, The Return of the Pink Panther, the sequel. This was Peter Sellers doing his Pink Panther movies as Inspector Clouseau with his boy
Burn,
Kato.
can I say one thing? Talking about Rocky Horror Picture Show, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about a young Susie Sarandon.
Susie Sarandon.
Had to be
Talk about a
said.
fastball. Talk about a
Had to be said,
fastball.
Daddy. Shout out Tim Robbins for laying that down, Daddy.
Locking it up a long time ago, right
Oh,
after
good for
Bull
him.
Durham, I think. He
Yeah,
locked that right away.
he must have
Nuke
been piping
Lelouch.
that bitch up real nice.
Well,
Good
you
for
know what her
him.
role in the movie was.
Yeah,
The Return of the Pink Panther. I always loved those Clouseau movies. Slapstick
sure.
comedy at its kind of its original, where they're still trying to put a story together. Number
Yeah.
seven. This hits me deep in my high school drug era. The Who's rock opera Tommy.
Mm,
Tommy is an incredible picture. I have not
mm.
seen it as an adult, but I watched it in high school a bunch of times on a lot of drugs, and it was always a mind blowing experience.
Yeah,
And the
I was told to
soundtrack was
watch that
obviously
on
incredible.
Boomers.
Mm-hmm. Number six, Rollerball. Jimmy Kahn, just being Jimmy
Classic.
Kahn, just being tough, just being the
Great
Jimmy
con.
Kahn that we
That's
know.
great
It's a
con.
great Rollerball is great Kahn.
Great con.
Bit of a fastball or a bit of a curveball here, thrown in Dolomite, number five, an
Mm.
incredible blaxploitation film. All the action, all the sex appeal, all the jive turkeys you want from a
They
1970s
tried
movie.
remaking that not too long ago either.
Yeah, did not go great. It didn't really
Mm.
capture the culture at all. Four, 3 Days of the Condor, like a spy movie. You like a young Bobby Redford?
Is Louis Gossett Jr. in that as well?
I believe he is as well.
Very
But
nice.
young Bobby Redford steals the show here. Number three, Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Ugh,
What can you
Daddy.
say? If you haven't
Yeah.
seen it, what are you doing with your life? Check it
Haven't
out
seen it.
right
Go get a
now.
dick and get a life,
Get a
please.
dick, get a life. And
Yeah.
here's where we snuck into my number two was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. My number one, Dog Day Afternoon. I love
So
that
good.
movie. I love that
So good.
movie. People I don't think appreciate it on Pacino's roster, just
Ugh.
how incredible he was. And we get to see him back with Fredo in a completely different situation. So that was mine. Those were my top 10 films of 1975. Obviously, Jaws would have been number one on my list, but I didn't include it.
Very nice. Awesome. Well, that's it for round two. We're going to keep moving on to round three. Round three, fight! Okay, so here's the deal with round numero trace, Burn Daddy. Is that what we're going to do here? We're going to go bit for bit, bat for bat, slip for slip, slap for slap with some fun facts. And then we're going to recast each other's movies. So I will start off with the fun facts and the balls across your chin. Here we go. So, did you know this about the movie The Dark Knight? There is a link between Heath Ledger's Joker and the old 1960s TV version. That's right. We first meet Heath Ledger's Joker character in the opening scene, where he and his crew perform a bank heist. The robbers all wear clown masks, and the one that the Joker wears is exactly the same as the one worn by Cesar Romero when the Joker made its first ever appearance in the Batman TV series in the 1960s. And that's your fun fact. Go ahead, Bern.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jaws holds a couple of records, or at least attributations. The first ever summer blockbuster.
Mm.
Jaws paves the way. It shows everyone how to do it. In fact, the movie was originally supposed to release in December of 74. And somebody at the studio said, I think maybe right around when people start going to the beach, this movie will have a little more cultural impact. Cultural impact it had out of the wazoo in both
Mm.
positive and negative ways. It statistically sparked the amount of young students who became interested in oceanography and ocean biology. Those courses became way more popular at colleges all over the country. It also had the negative effect of kind of what the mayor in the movie was worried about, of absolutely destroying beach tourism across the east coast of the United States for the entire summer of 1975. And just to give you a little clue, it was also the first film ever to be shot primarily on the ocean. Major motion picture,
Damn.
that is. Yeah.
How about it? All right, good stuff. Well, Byrne, I'm sure you weren't aware of this about the movie The Dark Knight. Did you know the Joker threatened a real senator? That's right. In a tense scene early in the film, the Joker and his crew storm a cocktail party at Bruce Wayne's luxury penthouse. While the Joker holds the room of socialites hostage, an older gentleman stands up to him. The Joker then grabs the man and threatens him with a knife. This man is played by real-life Senator Patrick Leahy of Vermont, a lifelong Batman's fan. Leahy has had small cameo roles in several Batman movies and cartoons. And that's your fun fact, Bern.
That is pretty cool. That's cool for him.
Well, I'm a cool guy.
That's cool for him, not cool for you. Jaws
No.
almost had a completely different cast.
Mm.
Originally, Spielberg had envisioned Charlton Heston to play the role as Chief Brody, Lee Marvin to play Quint, and
That.
Jeff Bridges as Hooper. When Eastwood passed, he offered the role of Brody to Robert Duvall. Robert Duvall was only interested in playing the character of Quint. Spielberg thought he had Lee Marvin locked up until a few weeks before shooting. Lee Marvin read the script, called him, and said, "I'd rather go fishing for real than be in a movie about fishermen." So that's how we ended up with old Bobby Shaw. And when Bridges was unavailable, Richard Dreyfuss was suggested to Spielberg. Dreyfuss read the novel, was immediately on board, and that's how we got our big three in Jaws.
Wow. Absolutely fascinating stuff. Byrne, but did you know this about the movie The Dark Knight? President Obama used the movie The Dark Knight to help fight ISIS. That's right, he's a big fan of the movie. President Barack Obama apparently took inspiration from the movie to help understand the growing threat of ISIS. During a staff meeting, President Obama reportedly said the following: "There's a scene in the beginning in which the gang leaders of Gotham are meeting. These are men who had the city divided up. They were thugs, but there was a kind of order. Everyone had his turf. And then the Joker comes in and lights the whole city on fire. ISIS is the Joker. It has the capacity to set the whole region on fire. That's why we have to fight it." End quote. And there you go. Fun fact again. Nuts on your chin once again. Go ahead, Byrne.
Nuts on my chin. This is about cultural impact. Spielberg thought the score John Williams sent him was a joke. Williams played it for him on piano. Spielberg said, "That's great." John Williams was like, "Fine, I'll flesh it out." And was very confused weeks later when Spielberg continued to write him and phone him about turning in his score for the film. It's really funny to show that even some of the greatest directors in the world, that this is a very visual medium. Spielberg thought it was too simple at first and tried showing cuts to people around the production with the score and without the score of the opening scene with Chrissy. People were not that freaked out until the score was added. And now we have ENF that will live on in our nightmares forever.
Amen to that. Well, Byrne, how about this about the movie The Dark Knight? Did you know the Joker's interrogation scene got really violent? So the first scene that Christian Bale and Heath Ledger shot together was the interrogation sequence where Batman tries to beat information out of the Joker. Ledger encouraged Bale to actually hit him during the scene, even going so far as taunting Bale to get him riled up. When Bale still refused, Ledger began hitting himself and throwing himself against the room's tiled walls, leaving cracks that can still be seen in the movie. Damn, Ledger is a wild man, but I love it. Commitment, and that's why It's awesome, and I'm awesome, and nuts are on your chin. Burn, go ahead. Try and top that.
In the film Jaws, in the quintessential scene, yuck, yuck, that I mentioned earlier, almost didn't happen. Robert Shaw was a known alcoholic and apparently a very difficult actor to work with. He was hammered pretty much the whole time on set, and he and Dreyfuss did not get along with each other at all, including Dreyfuss throwing a shot glass at him at some point during rehearsals, and Robert Shaw pulling a gun on Richard Dreyfuss outside of his trailer. In order to try to make this scene happen, the prop master switched Richard Dreyfuss's grape juice with actual wine. Knowing Quint would show up to the shoot drunk himself, they decided to get Richard Dreyfuss just as drunk to shoot that scene. So both men in that scene, you know, Brody's playing a little buzz. Both the men in that incredible scene from the movie Jaws were just as shit cam hammered as they look on film.
Absolutely love it. Well, all right, Burn. Well, that's it for the round of sparring of fun facts. And now we're going to move on to recasting. Are you ready?
Ready as I'm gonna be, baby.
Okay, so in this recasting, I'm recasting the movie Jaws. Ever heard of it? I'm sure you have. All right, so this is what I'm going with. Okay, I will be recasting four characters from the movie Jaws. I'm sure you love it. So I'll be recasting Brody, played by Roy Schneider, Quint, played by Robert Shaw, Hooper, played by old Richie Dreyfuss, and Ellen Brody, played by Lorraine Gary. So I'm gonna start off with Ellen Brody's character. Okay, so to replace Lorraine Gary, who plays Ellen Brody's character, I'm gonna go with the beautiful and poignant Edie Falco. Going with Edie Falco. Going with
Nice.
Edie Falco. Yep.
Edie works.
Yep. And it's gonna have to turn into well, it could be you know what? It could work at. All right, well, I'll tell you later. So, Edie Falco. Then to replace Richard Dreyfuss. I'm taking a swing here on a guy you might know, you might not know, but I'm big on this guy. I think he's a good actor, and I've liked him in everything he's done. So, replacing Richard Dreyfuss' character Hooper, I'm going to be casting John Magaro or Majaro. I don't know how you say it. John Magaro or John Majaro. Have you seen? Okay, he's in a ton of stuff, but have you seen The Umbrella Academy?
Yes.
Okay, so you remember in the first season, Ellen Page dates a guy that ends up being a creep.
Yeah, yeah.
Him.
Oh, okay.
That
Okay.
that's John Magaro. You know.
I can see it.
Honestly, I've seen him. He's been in a ton of stuff. He was in War Machine, which is really he was really good. That's a really good movie. But he's been in a bunch of stuff. I'm like, man, this guy throws down. Does a good job. So recasted him as old Dickie Dreyfuss. Then Robert Shaw plays Quint. I'm gonna be recasting him as the incomparable Liam Neeson.
That's a great call.
It is a great call, and I'm a great man. A great man. So, yep. So, Robert Shaw plays Quint. I'm putting Liam Neeson there because he's just gonna fucking dick smack it, you know. And then Roy Schneider, the Schneid, plays Brody. I'm gonna be recasting him with just the man, the myth, the legend, Giovanni Ribisi.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. He's gonna have to take it down a notch a little bit. Giovanni Ribisi could be a little excitable, but
Well, did you see the movie The Offer? Or no, it's a show, The Offer.
yeah, I did.
Okay, so Giovanni Ribisi plays Joe Colombo in that.
Yeah, and he's pretty chill.
He's kind of chill, but he can get excited. You know what I'm saying? So I thought if he brought that kind of like when he gets, angry, that kind of angry energy, I thought he could play Schneider in this. Brody. That was my thought. My second guy was Mark Ruffalo.
Hmm. I could see either one of those guys doing it.
You know what? You're not as high on the hog on this because I've been talking shit about your recasting, and you don't want to give me the fucking flowers I deserve
I
here.
just I don't love Giovanni Ribisi, but I mean I love him, just not in this.
Wow. Do you have any thoughts on who you think would be better? Let me guess. Let me guess. A random German guy or a reimagining of Barry Pepper.
I just said Barry Pepper de-aged. Okay, I want him de-aged. It's going to be Barry Pepper. He just needs to be look a little
Honestly,
younger. That's all.
Barry Pepper as Brody though.
Barry Pepper might be a better call. I might like
Barry
Barry Pepper
Pepper might
better
be
than Brody.
better than. I mean, should I put Barry Pepper?
You know what? I'm not here to help you, but I like of the three names you said. I think Barry Pepper works the best.
You know who I'm thinking? Two guys in my head: Barry Pepper, Tom Jane. Also, it works with Edie Falco's age because now Edie Falco can go from being the mom to being the wife again.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe Barry Pepper, Tom Jane, maybe Tom Jane.
Tom Jane would probably make more sense age wise with Edie Falco.
All right, we're doing Tom Jane, and I'm calling it there. It's Tom
Tom
Jane.
Jane, that's good. I think you got there. I think you found it.
Yeah, I found it all by myself because I'm a great recaster. Okay, so my recap of my recasting. So, recasting Lorraine Gary's character, Aaron Brody, I'm going to go with Edie Falco. Recasting Richard Dreyfuss's character, Hooper, I'm going with Jean Majaro. Recasting Robert Shaw's character, Quint, I'm going with Liam Neeson. And recasting Roy Schneider's Brody, I'm going with the one and only Tom Jane. That was my first guess. All right, and that's my recasting. Burn, I'm going to sling it over to you so you can do worse than me because mine is the best. Shout out, fan of the show, listen to the show. Go ahead, Burn.
Not your strongest, man. Not your strongest.
You cunt.
I am recasting The Dark Knight, 2008's The Dark Knight. I'll be recasting the characters of Bruce Wayne, played by Christian Bale, the Joker, played by Heath Ledger, Harvey Dent, played by Aaron Eckhart, Jim Gordon, played by Gary Oldman, and Rachel Dawes, played by my girl, Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Mm.
We'll start with her. I am going to recast as Rachel Dawes. Goodbye, my love, Maggie. Welcome, Carrie Mulligan. I'm bringing Carrie
Oh,
Mulligan
great
in.
choice.
I
Great
feel like she's got
choice.
same kind of innocent face, but she can be stern.
Mm.
I think she would pick up right where dear Maggie left off.
And she's married to Mumford.
That's correct. She is married to Mumford.
Married to Mumford.
I'm just going to get this out of the way early.
Okay.
Trying to recast the Joker. Trying to recast Heath Ledger's iconic posthumous Oscar-winning role and performance as the Joker almost seems sacrilegious to do.
Pretty impossible.
So I decided I was going to take a shot here. I am going to cast Jamie Campbell Bower to play the iconic role of the Joker, previously held by Heath Ledger. I only know him from Stranger Things. Are you a Stranger Things guy, Maddie?
No, who is he playing in Stranger Things?
He's in the most recent season of Stranger Things. He plays Vecna, the big bad guy who we get to see a lot as a really troubled teen, early 20-somethings guy. He's got a skeleton face. He looks really weird. He's creepy. He's intense. My other thought there was Bill Skarsgård, but I'm going to go with Jamie Campbell Bower. I'm just taking a shot for the look right now. And a guy I've seen be sinister and creepy before. I'm not too psyched about it, but I just thought about this for a week, and no one's going to do it like Ledger.
What's tougher, recasting him, Jennifer Lawrence in Silver Linings Playbook? This must have been tougher.
This was tougher. This was the toughest recast I've had to do.
Oh, this guy. He played young Grindelwald, right?
Yes. He's a creepy dude. He's got a creepy vibe to him.
He's been in a bunch of things. Oh, he's in Horizon too. He was really good in Horizon. He played a total douchebag.
Yeah. So he's my guy for the Joker.
Okay.
Recasting Harvey Dent. You mentioned earlier Aaron Eckhart was dead on as well as Harvey Dent. I'm going to go with Michael Fassbender. For Jim Gordon, replacing Gary Oldman in The Dark Knight was tough. My original thought was Bryan Cranston, but I think that was more mustache. I circled around and I found the right answer, and that is American Hero, KFC, Kevin fucking Costner. Kevin
Amen.
Costner is going to be
Amen.
my lieutenant, then Commissioner Jim Gordon. And I try to do something a little different, recasting Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne, since obviously James Gunn is making new Batman movies and they're going to run with the Pattinson movies and who's going to be the guy, who's going to be the guy. I'm going with Matt Bomer. Matt
Oh,
Bomer was
love that choice because he'll be a great Bruce Wayne too.
he'll be a really good Bruce Wayne, and he's been in the Magic Mike movies, so you know he can
Yeah.
get shredded. He's
Yeah.
going to look good under the cowl, and I don't think
Yeah.
Christian Bale was reinventing the wheel as Bruce Wayne necessarily in those movies. I think his performances were
No.
good, but I don't think they're irreplaceable. So my final list is
Matt Bomer was in Magic Mike?
he was in all of them.
All right, sorry. Continue.
Yeah, American Horror Story, Magnificent Seven. So my final recasting of The Dark Knight, I'm replacing Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne with Matt Bomer. I'm replacing Heath Ledger's Joker with Jamie Campbell Bower. I'm replacing Aaron Eckert's Harvey Dent with Michael Fassbender. I'm replacing Gary Oldman's Jim Gordon with KFC, Kevin fucking Costner. And I'm
Hmm.
replacing Maggie Gyllenhaal's Rachel Dawes with Carey Mulligan. And that is my recast.
Excellent.
And I got you this week,
Absolutely.
motherfucker. Got you this week, and I got you good.
I don't think you did. I don't think you ever have.
Oh,
I don't think you ever will. And that's just the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. But, Burn, that is also round three. Let's move on to round four.
oh
Round
boy.
four. Fight! Okay, Burn, we've made it. It's round four of the championship round or the championship match of the first ever Directors Cup. Let's do a recap, Burn. You want to do a little recap?
Let's do a recap.
Let's do a recap of the Cup. So, first match we had was Ridley Scott versus James Cameron, Titanic versus Gladiator. Great one. Absolutely great battle. Great battle. I'll
Definitely
tell you. I'll
got
tell
to start
you.
it right.
No one saw it, but Ridley Scott took this one, took down James Cameron, moved on to the semifinals. I mean, Gladiator took Titanic. Honestly, great battle, great way to start off the first ever Directors Cup. Am I right or am I right?
I couldn't agree more. I thought it was perfect.
Yep. Second match we had J.J. Abrams versus the eventual one of the eventual finalists, Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg. You know him, you love him, Steven Spielberg. So it was J.J. Abrams had Star Trek 2009, and what does Spielberg have again?
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. Yeah. No, J.J. Abrams, tough road to hoe there. J.J. J.J. just didn't have. I don't think he had a deep enough filmography either because he did so much time on TV. But Spielberg's filmography, there's no one that can match it. Like who are we talking about? But Spielberg beat out J.J. Abrams. Really, really good stuff. Really, really good stuff. And then we did Wes Anderson versus the Coen brothers. We did Rushmore versus
Fargo.
Fargo. God damn, why am I blanking? We had Rushmore versus Fargo. Coen brothers took that one in a great battle. Honestly, sleeper first round battle, right? Sleeper first round battle. Then we had David O. Russell, Silver Linings Playbook versus Christopher Nolan.
Memento.
Memento. Fuck me, dude. God damn it. Thank God you're here because I don't remember any of this shit. David O. Russell, Silver Linings Playbook versus Christopher Nolan's Memento. Christopher Nolan took that one, obviously. And then next, the semifinals. We did Ridley Scott versus Spielberg, and we did,
Alien versus Saving Private Ryan.
God damn it.
These are all off the dome too, by the way.
Yeah. Alien versus Saving Private Ryan. Saving Private Ryan took that one, sent Spielberg to the finals. I mean, that was another clash. And we didn't, that was another one where there's a big age gap between the films. But honestly, really, really good. Both sides. They did it. It was a really good showing. Really tough battle. Then we had Christopher Nolan versus the Coen brothers. We had Inception versus No Country for Old Men. How do you like that, Bern? Remember that one?
Nailed it. Nailed it.
That one was, I mean, that was a barn burner. Semifinal barn burner. Because either one of those could have made it. Either one of them.
For sure.
Wouldn't have been surprised. Right? But Inception edged out the Coen Brothers, No Country for Old Men, barely, but edged out, which means in the finals now, we have the one and only Steven Spielberg against Christopher Nolan. We have Jaws going against The Dark Knight. And now we're in round 4. We're asking our AI overlords to let us know who's the winner. Are you ready?
Yeah, well, I mean, this could go either way, Maddie. This could really go either way.
Okay, so this ultimate cinematic showdown comes down to this. So both Jaws and The Dark Knight are masterpieces that have left indelible marks on cinema. And here is what our overlord Gemini had to say who's the winner. So they said, however, if forced to choose which movie they think is better, they have to give the slight edge to The Dark Knight. And here's why.
Are you
Here,
fucking kidding me?
there we go.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
I mean, can we say it's the I'd have to think that AI was swayed by my argument,
I think
right?
it's recency bias and fucking dollars. I think it's all dollars.
Well, complex narrative and themes, Burn. Complex narrative and themes. The Dark Knight transcends the superhero genre, very true, exploring complex themes of morality, chaos, and the nature of good and evil. Its intricate plot and philosophical depth make it truly thought provoking cinematic experience. Also, iconic performances. Let's talk about it. Heath Ledger's portrayal of the Joker is nothing short of legend. Wait for it. Derry. His performance is both terrifying and captivating, elevating the character to a cultural icon. The film's ensemble cast delivers equally powerful performances, creating a rich and compelling world. Both, I mean, Bale's performance and Maggie Gyllenhaal's are so undermined by Aaron Eckhart and Heath Ledger. Like, they showed up fucking nuts on chins, daddy. You know what I'm saying? They showed up ready to go. Also, it says groundbreaking visuals and storytelling. Christopher Nolan's masterful direction and the film's stunning visuals create a truly immersive cinematic experience. The film's use of IMAX sequences and its intricate narrative structure push the boundaries of filmmaking. That's very true. It says lasting impact. While Jaws revolutionized the summer blockbuster, The Dark Knight redefined the superhero genre and had a massive cultural impact. It's a film that continues to be analyzed and discussed, solidifying its place as a modern classic. So, last thing it says, while Jaws is a timeless classic that terrified audiences and changed the way summer blockbusters were made, The Dark Knight offers a more complex and thought provoking cinematic experience. Therefore, it wins this very close competition and is the first ever, makes Christopher Nolan the first ever champion of the Directors Cup. Shout out
I
Christopher
mean,
Nolan.
I don't agree with AI in this particular instance, but it's hard to say that Nolan's not worthy. Both of these
Very
guys were
true.
equally worthy to be here. A little surprised, but
Think about
hats off
Nolan's
to Nolan.
road. Think about Nolan's road too. Memento, Inception, The Dark Knight. Like if we do NFC versus AFC, I mean, what's he gonna bring to the finals? We should do a Final Four if we do an NFC AFC and bring Spielberg back and do
Well,
whoever's the
we'll
finals
see.
in the yeah.
We'll
We'll see what's going on.
we'll see when we get there. We'll see. We'll see when we get there. Right now,
I'll see you when we get there, Daddy.
we're just licking our wounds on Team Jaws.
So, Burn, that's the Director's Cup. Tell me your thoughts, Daddy.
I thought it was a blast, man. I thought it was a
Thought it was
blast. I
great.
can't wait till a couple of weeks. We'll get our stuff figured out. We'll get set up
Yeah,
again. We'll figure out where we're going to go
yeah.
from here. But I'd love to do something like that again. I thought it was awesome. And it made me
I really
rewatch
think.
a ton of great movies that maybe I
Uh,
hadn't seen in a while or. or just hadn't appreciated maybe when I
Yeah,
first saw them. So
agreed.
shout out to us for fucking
Yeah.
killing it.
I think too, we really had a great structure by the end. Like we got the rounds down, we got the timing down, like no wasted moments. Like we really did a great job of analyzing, great job of breaking it down. I think our structure became really solid by the end. It took a couple of tries, but I think the next Director's Cup is going to be, I mean, I wouldn't say so much smoother, but I think it'll be I think we'll be so much better at it too, like we were so just locked in by this final of like what to do, how to do it, how to deliver the episode, and it was tough at first, but we nailed down how we wanted to break down every round, and we really got our timing down. So I think like our structure for this is something we should use to for a lot of different things. But I really liked how it ended up. Do you agree?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. It was fun. It was fun watching them. It was really fun preparing for them, and it was
Yeah,
fun getting out here and debating about it. So I'm
yeah,
down. Whatever we want to do next, I'm excited for, and you guys should be too.
yeah.
'Cause we're gonna keep bringing you good shit,
We got that good,
smart shit
good,
from our
daddy.
heads,
Yeah, or we can go back to interviewing people.
which is also fun.
Is it?
Which is also fun. Sometimes
Yeah.
our last one
But
was
is it?
good.
Yeah, which is available now on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Work Respects Podcast. But either way, Burn, this has been another episode and the first ever culmination of the first ever Director's Cup. In case you're wondering, you find all our stuff and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You know us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast. Join us on Twitter and TikTok at Working P Pod. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com, and please like and subscribe, and we'll keep bringing you this incredible content. We love you so much. Thank you for letting us do this. This has been such a blast. I'm Matt Lavelle. He's Bern Pockasy. Until the next Director's Cup. Thanks. See ya.